media, we have Coach Jon Sumrall here with us. Coach, would you mind giving us an opening statement?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me today. Excited about what we have going here at Troy. I'm really, really excited also about the Sun Belt Conference, the strength that it has, and the additions that have been made with the conference expansion and realignment. I'm really encouraged by where we are as a conference from a conference strength standpoint, and really looking forward to competing against great competition each week in our league. I think I've been in this league before. The landscape's different. A lot of teams in the conference that are playing at a high level that maybe weren't when I was here last, and it's fun to see teams get better and improve. We are working very hard currently in our own improvement individually and as a team. Everybody in our program, we got a long way to go, but our guys are giving great effort, have bought into the standards that we've put in place and are setting daily, and really encouraged by the growth I've seen so far. We are in the middle of spring ball, roughly. We had practice 11 yesterday. We'll have practice 12 tomorrow. Yep. And then next week we'll have 3 practices. We'll go Tuesday, Thursday, and then play T-Day next Saturday, April 23rd here in Veterans Memorial Stadium at 4:00. So excited about watching the last week. Our guys continue to grow and develop, and hard at work at getting better every day.
Thanks, Coach. For our media on the call, type your questions in the chat, and I'll read those aloud here for Coach. Coach, our first one's from Adam Solomon. How has spring been with a guy like Carlton Martial coming back for a 5th year?
It definitely makes installing the defense a lot easier. I was very fortunate. I've known Carlton a really long time. I was here as the assistant head coach, linebackers coach, and special teams coordinator when Carlton was coming out of high school. I recruited him here as a walk-on, and then during the middle of his freshman year, I ended up leaving. But really productive player, has made a ton of plays here in his career. He's always been highly instinctive. He's really where I think he's grown the most this offseason is in his leadership, and asking and expecting other guys to hold the same standard he does from an accountability standpoint. So he is that was my biggest recruiting win. When I got the job, everybody worries about who are you going to add? Well, I think in this current climate of college football with the transfer portal, you're constantly making sure you're engaged with your own roster. Carlton was someone who I think, would have had options or people would have been interested in going other places. Very glad that he has decided to return, and have really been enthused with his understanding of the new defense we're putting in, and also his leadership. His playmaking and instincts speak for themselves. It doesn't take a football genius to watch him play and recognize that he knows how to play the linebacker position really, really well.
Coach, you mentioned the transfer portal. Question here from Nathan. How do you feel about the transfer portal and how it can impact college football programs? Do you see it as a positive, negative, or something in between? And have those feelings evolved over time?
Yeah, I see it as something in between. I think, I'm for anything that benefits our players, right? And so name, image, likeness, I'm for, because I want our players to have access to all things that can positively impact their lives. The transfer portal, I do think has some good things built into it. I think there are some challenges when you're building a roster and you're new, trying to work through subtraction, addition of certain guys here and there. And so the roster management piece, I think, is more challenging probably than ever before because of it. But I think, whether you're positive or negative on it, I don't think it matters less about. You just have to embrace that it is what it is right now. It's the sign of the times that we're in. And I think building relationships with your current roster is so important, and being engaged and connected with every young man on your team and being authentic and genuine, upfront, honest, and approachable is the most important things with your current roster. In regards to how we'll use the transfer portal here at Troy, I'm not going to go exclusively bring in an entire class of transfers. That's not our model here. We are going to be a recruit and develop program. Now, having said that, we are also going to use the portal for specific needs that we have, or holes that we may have depth-wise in our roster, or maybe a starting line, front line player. So if we need certain depth at certain positions, we'll go that route. If we're maybe lacking from a high end or a top level starter or experience to a certain position, we'll go that route. We have positions of need right now that we are going to address here, hopefully in the next month or so. I know May 1st is a big deadline that everybody's kind of watching to see what happens by then, but we will, we're going to embrace what's in front of us and use it, but we're not going to use it exclusively. We're going to use it to supplement our roster more so than build the roster.
Coach, our next question is from Paul Swan. Could you talk a little bit about the new additions to the league and then being the first league matchup for Marshall?
Yeah. So obviously Marshall, Southern Miss, ODU, James Madison, all those teams, great football history and tradition in a lot of those places. On our side, we'll have Southern Miss as we're going to the West, so they'll be with us every year. And that's a great regional game just because of proximity. I think it's a good matchup for both schools, both universities. But I think it strengthens our brand. I think it makes the Sun Belt has already established itself as one of the premier Group of 5 conferences. I think it only bolsters that when you add teams with the history and tradition of those programs and what like ODU, maybe not the history, but what they've been able to accomplish in a short amount of time, I think makes our league even better. We have our work cut out for us. When we saw Marshall come across as the crossover game, I thought we could have gotten an easier draw, but I'm not going to back down from anything. But got a lot of respect for that program and what that staff's doing there. They're doing a really good job, and that'll be a really good challenging game for us and a great opportunity to measure ourselves against a quality team that went to a bowl game last year.
Coach, one last one here for you. While you didn't coach him on the field, what would having a guy like long snapper Cameron Kay get an opportunity at the next level mean for the Troy program?
It'd been a lot, kind of like Carlton. I was here and helped recruit Cam here. I'll never forget sitting in an old room here we used to call the Red Room with Cam and his dad when he came on a visit. We were trying to get him to come walk on. Anytime we have a young man in our program with an opportunity to play in the NFL, that's a special opportunity. It's our obligation and duty to equip every young man in our program with the tools to be successful at whatever's next in life. I think Cam would make an outstanding addition to an NFL team as a long snapper. I think he's going to get his shot in training camp. The specialist jobs in the NFL are so challenging in regards to how they work and how often they turn over or maybe don't turn over. But I think Cam has really positioned himself well. He's got a great frame for a long snapper. He's built like a every down football player, not just like a specialist. And he's very accurate, effective with his times, and really excited to see him. He's a phenomenal young man, a tremendous worker, a great testament to our program, and cannot wait to see what's next for him. I think he's going to get an opportunity in the NFL and would not be shocked if he made the most of it and played a long time if that window of opportunity does present itself properly.
Coach, thank you for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you and what you guys do. Thank y'all.